¿Qué pasó, mi gente? It's MarkTip25 otra vez. This is the sixth episode of my playoff predictions, and we're talking about the Milwaukee Bucks and Boston Celtics today. This is going to be a hell of a matchup. I think this is probably the best matchup of this round. The Milwaukee Bucks series against the Chicago Bulls, it was pretty easy to see that Milwaukee was way too strong for the Bulls. DeMar DeRozan had pretty valiant efforts, but overall it just wasn't enough. Vucevic was kind of underwhelming. Zach LaVine wasn't playing to the best of his abilities. And in general, there were injuries to Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso, even though it would not have made a difference. Even without Chris Middleton, the Bucks are a strong team. Giannis put up some decent numbers except from three-point range. He had great rebound numbers. He was actually distributing the ball very well, and he had a block per game. Drew Holiday had some good distribution as well. His numbers were a little bit shoddy from field goal range and three-point percentage. Brook Lopez coming back in the lineup was really helpful. Grayson Allen stepped up, and he put up 60% on field goal range and almost 60% in three-point range. So this team is a pretty good team overall. It's just without Chris Middleton, it might be a little bit harder to go off against this Celtics team. Celtics have really come into their own this season. They struggled at first in the season, and then they turned everything around, and now they're in 12th gear. They swept the Nets. Even though Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant had some pretty good performances in this series, it just wasn't enough. They are very top-heavy, and their depth is not where it needs to be. Especially what they gave up for James Harden. It was pretty easy to see that the Nets were not going to be a good enough team to beat the Celtics. Although I didn't expect them to get swept, it was pretty easy to see that the Celtics were more well-rounded and they had better chemistry, with Kyrie being out so much with the Nets. For the Celtics, Jason Tatum had almost 30 points on almost 46% field goal percentage, 42% three-point percentage. He was distributing the ball well with a steal a game. Jaylen Brown was a hawk on defense with 2.5 steals a game, almost 50% field goal percentage. He was abysmal from three-point percentage, but I don't expect that to happen in the next round. Marcus Smart was putting in work defensively and was also distributing the ball well. This team in general is very well-rounded, although Derek White was a little bit underwhelming. Robert Williams being back in the lineup helps bolster their defense in the paint. As far as the matchups, I think without Chris Middleton, it's going to be hard for the Milwaukee Bucks to maintain their composure. Grayson Allen isn't going to be able to save them every time. Boston, I think, is well equipped to deal with Giannis now. They may be able to slow him down, not completely stop him, but slow him down enough to where they can gain an edge. So I think the Celtics take this series in 6 games. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Suscríbete a mi canal, sígueme en TikTok y hasta la próxima, mi gente. Adiós.